Good afternoon, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I am falling behind. So instead of making a 3 video thing like I promised, I'm just going to make one big, large video that you clicked on, going over the brand new Rose Dragon support, the brand new Yummy support, and of course the brand new Dragon Tail support, which is really exciting news. So let's get straight into this. So first things first, we're just going to go straight into the Rose Dragons. I'm like a couple days behind on these cards. I think they're good, but of course, most of you who clicked this video are probably more excited about the new Justice Hunters, the second wave of support. I'll get to that, or you can just skip ahead. Up to you. So let's get straight into this. So first things first, we have Violence Witch. This is a level 4 dark plant effect monster, 1100 attack, 1200 defense. No use the first and second effect of this card's aim once per turn. If you control a Black Rose Dragon, or a monster that mentions it, or a plant synchro monster, spell summon this card from your hand. So it's a really cool level 4 extender. And then it has the ability, if it's sent to graveyard as synchro material, from the field, of course, you can discard one card, spell summon one plant monster with 1500 attack or defense, or less defense from your deck. Also, you're locked out of the extra deck except synchro monster. So that's actually a pretty powerful effect. Summoning any plant monster directly from the deck, as long as its defense is 1500 or less. That's kind of insane, especially since you can just summon out Lone Fire. And then Lone Fire can just tribute itself and summon any plant from deck. I'm not going to lie to you, that's an insane summon from deck. This is a really good extender. It does need to have a monster on field that mentions Black Rose, but I think the new support that we are going to get probably does mention Black Rose. So this card already feels really, really good for the deck. Next, we have Twilight Rose Black Knight. This is a level 3 Dark Plant Tuner effect monster, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. Keep this in mind. You can summon this off, of course, the lovely, lovely Violence Witch. You can only use the first and third effect discard name once a turn. And this card is normal or spell summon one Black Rose Dragon or one level 4 or lower plant monster from your graveyard, but its effects are negated. Side effects is plant monsters you control gain 1000 attack while you control a synchro monster. And then third effect says you can target one other plant monster you control, increase or decrease its level by 1. This is a pretty good extender slash like Blizzard. This is like a Blizzard for the modern day for plant decks. If you don't know, Blizzard is a Blackwing card that they used to play in like previous setups, or they already have a Blackwing engraved. They can like normal summon Blizzard, reborn a Blackwing, and make a synchro. It's kind of like what Twilight Rose Black Knight's doing. He's kind of just like normal summon me or spell summon me off a plant, and then you get to reborn another plant, modulate its level, and make any synchro you want, which is not bad. Next, we have Bramble Rose Dragon. It's a new level 7 fire plant synchro effect monster, 2400 attack, 1800 defense. It is not generic. It does require a plant tuner plus one non-tuner monster, so it's not completely. As long as you have a plant tuner, you can make it. If you don't have a plant tuner, you can't make it. Each time your opponent activates a monster effect, inflict 600 damage to them when that effect resolves. And if you do, all face-up monsters they control lose 600 attack. This is a pretty powerful effect because that means each time they resolve an effect, they're losing 600 attack. So the longer their turn goes and they keep summoning things, the more attack they lose, which is kind of crazy. Side effect says, during the main phase, quick effect, tribute this card. Spell summon one Black Rose Dragon from your extra deck is treated as a synchro summon, so Black Rose will just nuke the field, so that's pretty insane. And then a third effect says, you can banish this card from your graveyard, spell summon one level 4 or lower plant tuner from your graveyard, and guess what? Our lovely, lovely Rose Knight here, the Twilight Rose Black Knight, is a tuner monster, so that's your target. You can summon him from the graveyard, and then on his summon, you can target one other plant monster in your graveyard and reborn it. And then on your turn, you can modulate its level to make another synchro, which is pretty insane. Next, we have Hate Rose Witch, which is a crazy freaking name. It's a level 6 dark plant synchro monster. It's generic, and we gotta keep that in mind. It's a generic 1600 attack, 2400 defense. That means punks can make it. You can only use the first and third effect of this card name once per turn. If this card is synchro summon, you can send up to 2 plant monsters to the graveyard, one from your deck and one from your extra deck. Also, you're locked out of extra deck except synchro monsters. Plant monsters you control can't be destroyed by battle. Can be destroyed by card effects, not by battle. And then if cards on the field is destroyed by card effects while this card's in graveyard, spell summon this card. Interesting card. So I guess it's a Foolish Burial for plants and extra deck monsters, which is pretty insane. But you have to send plant extra deck monsters and plants from deck. I gotta recheck the plant monsters you want to send to graveyard. Glow Ball is still currently banned, even though it might come off the list next set. We're not really sure there, but there's not really that many plants you want to send to graveyard. At least not that I can think of off the top of my head, but that's still a pretty good effect. Foolish Burial from extra deck and from deck is still pretty good. Next we have Black Rose Garden. This is a continuous spell card. Activating one of these cards name once a turn. Go use a third effect this card name once a turn. When this card resolves, add one Rose Dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. I assume that means you can add the Rose Black Twilight. I wish this added Violence Wisp, but whatever. Next it does is that face-up monsters on the field become plant monsters. Oh shit! We're just getting a Clockwork Knight for all archetypes, aren't we? First, Clockwork Knight turned all monsters on the field into machines. Zombie World turns, of course, all graveyard and all monsters on the field into zombies. And now we have this Rose Garden that turn all monsters into plants, allowing you to super poly the shit out of them. Not to mention, there's a lot of really nasty little combos of tributing plant monsters in order to do some really nasty things. So the fact that this turns all face-up monsters on the field into plants is diabolical, especially monsters that specifically need to be a certain type in order to be made, which is kind of crazy. So this is already an insane card without the effect of adding a Rose Dragon monster from deck or graveyard, by the way. So it adds back from grave too. And then if this card is destroyed, inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each plant monster in your graveyard and banishment. Then, if it was destroyed by the effect of a Black Rose Dragon, inflict 24 damage to them. So if you nuke this card, not only are you inflicting 100 damage for each plant in your grave, but then, because it was destroyed by your Black Rose, you inflict an additional 24 damage to them, which is already an insane card. Not to mention, don't forget that for each time your opponent activates a monster effect, inflict 600 damage to each of your opponent's cards, and they lose 600 attacks. So not only are you burning them with the Bramble Rose Dragon, you're then burning them in the graveyard for all your plant monsters, and then you're also burning them for 2,400 by destroying this card, which is kind of crazy. I'm actually quite surprised on how good this plant support is. So yeah, really good plant support. But that's not why you guys really clicked this video. You guys probably clicked it for the other support. So yeah, let's get into that. So first things first, we have Dragon Tail. So Dragon Tail was revealed yesterday. I didn't get a chance to go over them, but now I will. So let's get into this. So sound the arrival of the new Dragon Tail cards. Got two new ones, a new main deck monster, and a new trap card. So let's get straight into this. So first things first, we have Dragon Tail Phyrix. It's a level 2 light spellcaster effect monster, 800 attack, 1500 defense. You can only use the first attack of this card name once a turn. And this card has no more spells. Summon target one Dragon Tail monster in grave. Spell summon it, then return one monster you control to the hand. That means you can return itself to the hand, so you just got a free reborn, basically. This card sets graveyard as material as fusion material. Set one Dragon Tail spell trap from deck. That is a pretty insane effect. Let's say you have a starter in your graveyard. You can just normal summon this, reborn the starter, bounce this back to hand for next turn, and then your starter can just do your full combo. And if this card is ever sent to the graveyard for fusion material, which means you can probably do that, you can just set a Dragon Tail spell trap directly from deck, which plays around Joel, which is insane. Next, we have Dragon Tail Sting. And this is a normal trap card. Go and activate this card's name once per turn. Target one monster or one spell trap your opponent controls in their graveyard. Banish them, then place one Dragon Tail card from your graveyard of banishment to the bottom of the deck. Except Dragon Tail Sting, then draw one card. So basically, this card's a graveyard interruption. It either targets one monster or a spell trap your opponent's graveyard, banishes it, and then you shuffle back your own Dragon Tails from graveyard banishment back into the deck to redo them, and then you get to draw a card. So that's really good graveyard interruption. I don't know if it's good enough, but it is a solid. I can definitely see it's like a really cool one-of, but I don't know if it's enough to make them better than they already are. This kind of feels like fluff. Like, the new monster, great. The trap card, okay. overall, really good cards. I don't know if it pushes the ceiling even higher, but we'll have to see. Overall, interesting cards. Now, as of today, we also got some brand new Yummy cards. Got a new Continuous Spell and a new level 1 cat. I'm not going to lie, I love the cats. I love Yummy. They're such a cute archetype, and I'm not going to lie, this card looks insane. We have Marshmallow Star Yummy. This is a level 1 light beast effect monster. As you can see, it's a cat inside a marshmallow, which is absolutely adorable. 800 attack, 600 defense. You only use the first and second of this card in once a turn. If you control a monster or all monsters you control are light beast monsters, spell summon this card from your hand. An amazing extender. And this card is no more spell summon, add one Yummy spell from your graveyard to your hand. Or if this card was spell summon off a single effect monster, place one Yummy field spell or continuous spell trap from your deck or banishment into your face-up spell or trap zone instead. That's insane. So if you don't know, Yummy is a Synchro Link archetype based around 2 field spells. And I guess now a continuous spell in the form of this brand new Yummy Yummies. But this card literally allows you not when it's reborn off a Synchro monster, which it does on your opponent's turn, you get to basically place the field spell you want directly from deck or from your banishment onto the field, which is really good because one of the things about this deck, it rotates through its field spells. So that's pretty cool. Next, we have Yum Yum Yummies. This is the brand new continuous spell card. You only use the second, third effect of this card in once a turn. First effect says, each time 2 or more Yummy monsters are spell summoned to the field at the same time, gain 500 life points, and if you do, your opponent takes 500 life points. So we have a time and around card right here. Next effect, the second effect, you can pay 500 life points, then target 2 face-up monsters on the field, including one Yummy Squatchy. Send both to grave. If you do, spell summon one Yummy Synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a Synchro summon. Now, it says target 2 face-up monsters on the field, including one of your Yummy Scratchies. Meaning, as long as you have Yummy Scratchy on the field, you can basically send your opponent's monster to the graveyard in order to Synchro summon a Yummy Synchro from extra deck, and it's treated as a Synchro summon. This is kind of like Super Poly for Synchros, which is kind of crazy. The fact that you're just like, oh, I'm going to use your monster and my monster as Synchro fodder for, of course, my Yummy Synchro. And this is kind of as a Synchro summon. Insane. And then if your opponent activates a card effect, pay 100 life points. Immediately after this card resolves, link summon one Yummy monster. You know your opponent is taking 500 damage when you spell summon a Yummy. I guess when your opponent activates a card or effect, pay 100 life. Oh no, so I misread this card. My apologies. The third effect says, basically, if your opponent looks at you wrong, pay 100 life points, which is like the most minimum payment ever. Link summon a Yummy monster, which is kind of crazy. The Yummy Link monster is really insane. Now, of course, I do think they need more links. They probably need another Link monster besides the Link 1. However, this is still like insane support. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, the Marshmallow will be marshmallow. And I'm kind of excited to see what Yummy does with his new cards. These cards seem insane. And like and subscribe for more. Bye.